Episode: Tech and Dev Plan Review Process, Part 1. Define everyone on the team. Organization structure, leads, and directors. There is a lot involved with technical and experiential product development. Working with huge teams requires huge commitment and attention to immense detail. This episode will be one of the most techy and deep of the episodes to date. This episode is especially hard to communicate due to its complex ideas verbally. Without any visual references, not even a whiteboard, it's very hard. In fact, I will span a lot of this tech over a few episodes in hopes to make it more digestible. Well, this is my effort to share what I can verbally. My hope is that there will be some ideas or elements in this episode that directly benefit your endeavors, or at least inspire some thoughts or ideas that will help your mission and projects. And with that preamble, I will dive straight into the deep dive, deep detail, deep tech and dev planning review. I will present the ideas in as much of a checklist style as I can, using only spoken words. It is important to formalize individual and group responsibilities and organizational structure. And how do people engage with each other and other groups? Do they use formal work orders as if they were contracting with an external group for extreme clarity? Do they use fluid, free-form project tracking tools like Jira to hand off work units and tasks between people? Do they use SneakerNet to communicate everything? The most informal process, an inefficient way to communicate, walking and running between people and up and down corridors. It might work for a team of a dozen or less people. As an aside, I have found that small teams can actually be more efficient using SneakerNet for in-person verbal communication, provided that everyone is solid, competent, and virtually independently capable of doing their work. Let's get on to it. Much like the team leader list outlined in the due diligence episode, most teams and groups have assigned discipline and domain lead experts and directors. It is important to define them so that everyone on the team knows who's who, what everyone in every group and their team responsibilities are, and what to expect from them, and how to engage and interact with them. I will outline typical leads and directors that are found on most teams, hopefully providing some context for the kind of leadership roles that your business might need. As always, pick and choose what fits your needs. Business leaders, directors, and the final decision makers. These are often studio directors, studio managers. They are the final decision owner and decision makers. Everyone and every product and service reports to the studio director. The buck stops with the studio head. The executive producer, or EP. They are the final product owner. They drive product pitches, designs, and quality. The finance planner and analyst, or FP&A. They guide budgeting and analysis for, obviously, the numbers. Outsourcing director. Ideally, there is a single point of contact for engaging and contracting with external parties and companies. Creative director. And a technical director. Rendering engineering director. So many domain expert directors. Cloud networking engineering director. Art and animation and lighting director. Also, that may include a CG supervisor or CG soup, a much more technical art director. Audio, sound, and music director. That may include voice director. User interface front end, or UI, UX, human machine interface, HMI, and pop-up and enter screen transition director. And then there are the discipline and domain leads. Let's go over some of those. Overall experience, app or game design lead, or leads. Overall experiential and content leads are formal designers or senior experience design-centric producers. There are feature and area experiential content leads. They are also usually producers. There are user interface and input and user interface control leads. Once again, they are usually specialized in GUIs or user interfaces and so on. They may also, however, be people that deal with input and user control, keyboards, gamepads, network interfaces, and so on. There are content leads. These are people that dive into areas and level design, layouts. There are gameplay and tuning and balancing leads. There are localization and internationalization leads. There are art and animation leads, sound and music leads, film and motion capture or mocap leads. There may be QA or test leads. Some may be embedded with the team, some may be on a larger external team, some may in fact be contracted. And so many other engineering leads. There's a generalist lead usually, a front-end, like I mentioned, user interface lead, rendering engineering lead, the sound and music engineering lead, networking and cloud engineering leads, telemetry analytics and business intelligence BI leads, database and data schema leads. Database and data schema leads may require to be engineers or analysts or both. And of course, I think I've mentioned the fixer. Many times I've mentioned that it's important to have one person who's a fixer on call. We'll talk about the fixer, but they are a godsend and they are critical to every project. At some point, there will be something overwhelming and you will need a fixer. Well, the next episodes are going to get deep, so bear with me.